The 2019 nCoV coronavirus has been dominating the headlines, and health professionals are doing all that they can to contain the virus and prevent further spreading. However, despite everyone's best efforts, the 2019 nCoV coronavirus has spread to several countries throughout the world, and experts have warned about 100,000 people could already be infected by the virus. Welcome back to another episode of FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and in this episode I'm taking a look at 10 countries, just 10, that have been hit by this new coronavirus. Leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified of our daily episodes like this. Now, this video is not going to be in order from like the best country infected or anything like that. It's just I'm listing 10 countries, and starting at number 10 we have the country of Australia. So Australia is said to have confirmed 5 cases of the coronavirus. The most recent one was a woman who's 21 years old, and she was on the last flight out of Wuhan to Sydney before China actually imposed a travel ban. Now, the other infections were picked up in one man who arrived in Melbourne, Australia from China, and then there's 3 men in Sydney, Australia who had recently arrived from China as well, and they tested positive for the diseases. Based on the latest reports, they were being treated in isolation units in the hospitals in their local areas. Next up in this episode is the country of Thailand. So it's reported that Thailand has found 14 cases of people with the coronavirus so far. The ministry's permanent secretary in Thailand said that based on the latest numbers, all 6 cases are Chinese tourists from the Hubei province who entered into Thailand several days ago. They're from Wuhan. Now, the new cases are 2 women and 4 men from the ages of 6 all the way to 60, and 5 of these 6 cases are family members. All 6 were admitted to hospitals in the Nonthaburi province. The country number 8 is Canada. So far, a man who arrived in Toronto, Canada with his wife on January 22nd after visiting Wuhan have been confirmed to have the coronavirus. Now, the couples were actually wearing masks on their flight from Guangzhou, and they took their own transportation home from the airport. Now, his wife also has tested positive for the virus, and currently there's 19 suspected cases being investigated by health professionals located in Toronto. Now, let's take a look at the country of France. Now, there are 3 known cases of the coronavirus in France, and it's the first European country that has been affected. There's a case of a 48-year-old man who was in the hospital in Bordeaux, and he had recently traveled to Wuhan and returned to France via the Netherlands. 2 others are a Chinese couple in their early 30s, and they were hospitalized in Paris. All 3 of these people have recently traveled to China and have now been placed in isolation. The health minister of France said that it's likely that there will be more cases and that the authorities are surveying and scouting out different people, testing them, surveying all of the people that these patients have come in contact with. The coronavirus is also in Germany. So Germany has confirmed its first case of the coronavirus, and this is on January 28th, and it is in South Bavaria. A spokesperson for the ministry said a man in Starnberg region has been infected with the new coronavirus. And then he also added that the patient was under surveillance in isolation. Now, the ministry gave no details on how the patient actually was infected, but he also said that, and I quote, he's in a medically good state. Japan has also been infected with the coronavirus. It was reported on January 26 that Japan's public broadcaster, NHK, cited the health ministry, and they said that the 4th case had been confirmed in a resident of Wuhan in his 40s who was visiting Japan for the holiday. Now, the Japan health officials have confirmed that there was a 3rd case on January 25th, and the country's health minister said that it was a woman in her 30s who lives in Wuhan who contracted the virus also. The first case was actually of a man who visited Wuhan and was hospitalized on January 10th, which was 4 days after his return to Japan. The media had said that the second patient to contract the coronavirus was a man in his 40s who was originally from Wuhan and was on a trip to Japan. Then we also have the country of Malaysia. Malaysia has confirmed 4 cases on January 25th. All were Chinese nationals on holiday from Wuhan who had arrived in the country from Singapore just 2 days earlier. Now, the most recent confirmed was of a man who is 40 years old and he's being treated in hospital. There's also a 65-year-old woman and 2 boys aged 2 and 11 who are in stable condition, and they're being kept in isolation at the hospital as well. The United States is on the list. The United States is also in this episode. So there's 5 patients with the coronavirus, and they're based in Arizona, Los Angeles County, California, Orange County, California, Washington, and Chicago, Illinois. It's reported that each of these people had recently traveled to Wuhan, and this is according to the Centers of Disease Control. They are all kept in isolation in hospitals right now, and it's estimated that about 100 Americans in 26 states are also being tested for the virus. Unfortunately, also, South Korea is a country that's been affected by this new coronavirus. The Korea Centers for Disease Control confirmed that South Korea's 4th case happened on January 27th, saying that it was a 55-year-old South Korean man who returned from Wuhan on January 20th, and he'd been tested positive for the virus. Now, South Korea had reported its first case, which was of a woman who was 35 years old who flew in from Wuhan, and that was on January 20th. Now, their second case was confirmed on January 24th, and that was of a South Korean man in his 50s who returned from working in Wuhan. And then on January 26th, it's reported that a 54-year-old South Korean resident of Wuhan had arrived home on January 20th, and that was, of course, another case that tested positive for the virus. And of course, you know, this episode had to have the originating country, China. As of January 28th, at least 4,500 people have been confirmed infected across China. Now, most of them are in and around the Wuhan area. At least 106 people have passed away, sadly, from the viral infection. And mostly all of those 106 people were in the Hubei province. The Chinese government has imposed a major travel ban to really try to contain this virus. It has also closed tourist sites at what is usually one of the busiest times of the year. The city of Macau, which is a gambling hub, is very popular with the mainland tourists, and they've confirmed 6 cases. In Hong Kong, 8 people are known to have been infected, with hundreds of suspected cases being reported. Now, Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam has declared that the outbreak is an emergency, and he gave it the city's highest warning level, and he has cancelled all official celebrations of the Lunar New Year. So that was a look at just 10 countries that have been infected by this new coronavirus. There are, of course, other countries that have been affected, which is super unfortunate. We just hope that no other country becomes affected with this, and whichever countries have the coronavirus currently, let's just hope and pray that it becomes neutralized as soon as possible. But before we wrap up this episode, I'm going to be taking a look at some of your comments. And again, this is a new segment that we're going to be throwing into some of our episodes where we get to reply to some of your comments and your feedback and clear up anything based on the topics that we talked about. So let's take a look at who commented for this one. So let's take a look and see what some of you commented and said. I'm going to be replying to comments from the video that we did about 10 surprising facts about the coronavirus. Majestic Pigeon said, terrible start to 2020. That's it. That's all he said. I mean, for some people, that's definitely true, because we just have to take a look at some of the global headlines, like the whole World War III. There's been like so many different natural disasters in different places. Like honestly, so much that we could do literally like 3 FTD Facts episodes about the stuff that happened so far in 2020. And honestly, it feels like we're 5 months into the year, but yet we're still in January. I don't know, maybe it's just that these things happen regularly and we just don't know, but nowadays, especially it being 2020, a new decade, it's just amplified a little bit more. Or maybe it just was a very bad start to the year. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. Then the next comment comes from Sham TV, and he says, that's why I hate Chinese people. Like, but really, dude, really? You're gonna like hate on Chinese people because this virus originated from China? Like, isn't that a little bit, you know, racist? Maybe it's time to try on some sympathy here. Like, there's people that are actually losing their life. And yes, maybe you may not necessarily agree with some Chinese practices, but really, hating Chinese people, that's a whole new level. You gotta go deal with yourself, man, seriously. Now, the final comment I'm gonna respond to is Demi, and she says, Amazon burned, Australia burned, and now half the population could be gone by next month. Not to alarm anyone, but this could be the beginning of the end. Oh my god, really? This is it? This is the end of the world? That's it, the aliens are coming, let's go! Okay, maybe this is the end of the world. Like, what do we do? What do you do? What happens if it's like, okay, the world is gonna end? Like, what if you knew the world was gonna end? I don't even know. But like, this comment just made me think so much. Like, dude, for real though, what the heck is happening? Bottom line is though, like, regardless of all this stuff happening, like the natural disasters and everything, I really am looking forward to 2020. Like, I just have a good feeling about this year, although maybe sometimes still a little bit of bad stuff has to happen for like the good to emerge. Maybe, I don't know, we as humans are gonna become closer together and have more sympathy, and who knows? We'll see. Alright guys, so that's all the comments I'm going to respond to in this episode, and thank you guys so much for watching, and definitely stay tuned each and every single day for more FTD Facts episodes. And before you guys head out, I'm going to leave you with a video that I definitely don't want any of you to miss. It's going to be coming up right now after I go, so I'll see you guys real soon. Definitely check out that video.